Today, we are talking about L.A.B Golf and reviewing all 4 of their putters. Now, some of you watching may have never heard of L.A.B, or maybe this is the first time you're doing research because you've seen players like Adam Scott, Charles Howell recently win, or with Adam Scott specifically, first in strokes gained putting for the first time, I believe, since the Masters, of who is L.A.B Golf? What is L.A.B Golf? L.A.B stands for lie angle balance. It's really cool technology. So in a standard putter fitting, you have the lie angle and then loft angle. And what's really unique about these putters is when we fit you for it, they engineer the entire putter around the lie angle that you're fit for. So it's really, really cool. They are the only company that does that. Now, we're going to go through the putters so I can explain the technology a little bit better. The first putter is the one that is they're most well known for. It's the direct force putter. It's also probably one of the largest putters that I've ever seen. It's ugly, but it works. And I think that's what's really cool as a company is almost everybody that picked this putter up said it was ugly, yet people on tour not being paid and us amateurs not being paid used it and had a great success.
Great success.
However, they listened. They listened to us finally and introduced 2 new putters, first being the Mez. It's more of a mallet shape with these wings. So it's a little bit more traditional looking, kind of similar to what a Spider or Odyssey number 7, but maybe not everybody wants a mallet. You know, they went one size down from the direct force to the Mez, introduced the Mez Max, which is the one that Adam Scott's using. You can actually see this one's in the same blue custom. That's another thing that's really cool about these putters, and we have 6 colors to choose from, about 8 or 10 different alignment aids, so depending on who you're getting fit by, we can kind of walk you through that. But then they introduced the Link this year, and this thing is solid. It is a traditional blade shape, kind of like your Ping Answer, Scotty Cameron Newport, but it still has all that great technology of the L.A.B design. So they are anti-torque. And what that means is with a traditional putter, if you hit it on the toe, the center, or the heel, there's going to be a little bit of resistance there or torque. With the way that L.A.B Golf has designed it, as you can see with all the weights, regardless of center strike, toe strike, or heel strike, it is going to be the least amount of torque. And the reason that's important in your putting is 83% of your putting is predicted with where the face angle is currently located. And that's a science. Both Science and Motion Sports agrees with that, and I mean, it comes down to pure physics. Wherever the face angle is going, that face is pointed. Regardless of where path is, it's going to mainly be influenced by face angle. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll putts with each of the putters on Sam Putt Lab, show you guys some of the motion in 3D. And also one thing that's really cool is they have this tool called the revealer. So we're going to take a face balance putter and show you how unstable a traditional putter is versus the stability difference with the L.A.B Golf putters. So we're going to slide into Sam's studio, hit some putts, and show you everything that these have to offer. So we're here in studio with our Sam Putt Lab. We've got the revealer here, and what we talked about earlier was torque. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna try to hit a putter, or a putt with a putter, excuse me, that is face balanced, which in theory, through the stroke, the face should stay stable, right? Well, wait till you see what happens here. So we're gonna step in with a putt. So I've got the putter locked in, we've got it aimed, and you can see I'm not influencing the head or the grip. So I'm gonna take the putter back and hit this putt and watch what happens. So again, we're gonna look at the revealer here so you can see how through impact torque is affected with a normal face balance putter. Not very stable, huh? So now we're gonna switch it out with L.A.B Golf's putter. I'm going to use the Mez Max for this test. Same putt, same revealer. Again, no influence by me on what the putter is going to do. And we're going to make the same stroke. So we're going to hit one more putt from a down the line perspective so you can see how the ball rolls and how the putter reacts through impact. So what the revealer is, it's essentially a harness or a cradle, if you will, for the putter. So any putter, you can put a hook on here, and once you lock it in, it's not battery operated, it's strictly putting stroke operated. It can freely spin as much as possible, just like you'll see with the two putters that we're going to test, the Scotty Cameron face balance putter and this Mez. So what should happen is when you take the putter back and through, that putter face should stay stable. Again, I'm not doing anything, I'm not pressing any buttons to make this happen. Where with the other putter that you saw earlier, it's moving all over the place because even though it's face balance, it's not. And as a golfer, you're in charge of keeping that thing stable. So what's easier to keep stable, a putter that does this or one that looks like it's Elvis and dancing all over the place? So one other cool piece of tech that these putters offer is the press grip. That's a grip that they've designed. You can see here, it actually goes in at an angle. And what that does, it's promoting that the handle in your left hand or right hand for lefties stays out in front, thus creating a more stable stroke through the ball. Again, that 83% influence is face angle. Having this grip pressed is going to promote a more stable face angle than a traditional putter grip like this here Pistolero, where it's tapered, but you can see it goes straight in, where these press grips go in at an angle. And they do have different angles to choose from based on preference. So you don't have to go quite as extreme as the 11.3. You can go to the 11.5, much more subtle, a little bit smaller grip. So this one's more comfortable for me. And I really like the line going down the center, just a good place to remember to put those thumbs. Again, to promote that left hand staying down the line, keeping that face angle really, really stable and square through impact. So we're going to start rolling some putts with each model so I can give you my feedback. We'll start with the Spaceship. You can see here the Direct Force 2.1. All these are traditional length. They do come in arm lock or broomstick, just like what Adam Scott's using. So we're going to step in and just roll some putts here. So initial thoughts just behind the ball with this putter is it is a lot to look at. However, it's very easy to line up to. It sits very square. I feel very good about picking out a line. And again, I love the way that this grip feels because I don't have to worry about getting wristy. So I'm going to go ahead and roll a couple putts here. So initial thoughts with the first one, it is a pretty big shape behind the ball. Although weight-wise, it's actually not very heavy. So it's got a good feel to it, and acoustically, I'm a big sound person. It's not giving you a harsh click or a thud. It's actually got some nice acoustics to it. So even though, yes, size-wise it is large, it feels kind of like my traditional blade that I currently putt with. So surprised, I would say with this one, I'd give it an 8 out of 10 just because I'm not a big oversized mallet person. But I could see where, especially for someone who's wristy or someone who needs a mallet, would fall in love with this thing. So the next two putters, even though they do share the same name, the Mez and Mez Max, they couldn't be more different from each other. So similar shape, but what you can see is with the Mez .1 standard head, it's a lot smaller. I don't want to put a percentage because I don't know it off the top of my head, but it is a much smaller mallet where the Max is oversized, a little bit more weights, and you can actually see the shaping of the weights on the Max is a little bit more tapered in than what we see here on the standard Mez. So we're going to roll putts with both to see how different they are, and then we'll give you some feedback on that. It's got a really good sound to it. So overall, compared to the first putter, I do like the size of this one. It gives me the feel of a blade, but I know I've got a little bit of stability to work with these wings, especially having all these weights here. Like on that last stroke, I took it a little too far inside. However, it didn't affect the outcome because I got it back to square. It has a lot more solid sound, so it does have a little bit of a click to it. So again, responsiveness is how I like to kind of control speed as well, as I know if I hear a very loud noise, I've probably hit the putt too hard. So really, really liking the Mez. So now we've got a really cool one. This is the Mez Max, but it is a custom one. They offer 6 colors plus a lot of different alignment aids you can choose from, as well as an Acura graphite shaft. this coated matte black steel shaft or a L.A. golf shaft. So you're not just stuck with this plain old putter shaft. So we're going to roll some putts with the Max, see how it compares to the Mez and the first putter, the directed force, and we'll go from there. So you can definitely tell behind the ball the footprint compared to the normal Mez is a lot wider. So from an aiming standpoint, I feel like with this putter being a little wider, I am favoring right edge. But again, having that width is also a little bit of confidence, knowing that I can kind of get away with a toe or heel strike here, and it's not really going to affect the putt too much. So I'm going to roll a putt, see how it sounds. So not too bad there, definitely a lot louder acoustically, and I think that just has to do with this width and also the weights, again, being more spread out behind here on the wings. So I still favor the first one, like I'll call it the Batman putter. I like that shaping. However, I could get used to this. I see why Adam Scott has switched to it, because again, it just kind of gives you a lot of confidence standing over the putt, that knowing you can get away with a toe miss or a heel miss and it's not going to affect the outcome of what happens to the ball. So very happy with these two. Just personally, I'm going to give the first Mez a 9. I'm going to give the Max about an 8, just because again, I like the sizing and shape of the more compact look. But again, if you're someone who needs that added stability without going full on with the spaceship putter there, this would be the one for you. And lastly, we've got the Link. Already one tour win validated behind here. This was made to be a traditional blade. So from a shaping standpoint, for it's like a Ping Answer or a Scotty Cameron Newport, TaylorMade Daytona. So very traditional looking, but still incorporates all the weights. So you get that anti-torque or as little torque as possible technology. So we're going to roll some putts, see how it feels against the mallets, because this is a new area for lap golf. So we'll see what happens, see how it sounds, see how it feels, and then we'll give you a little feedback based on that. So this one does sit pretty normal for me. Again, I'm using a Ping PLD Answer. So shape-wise, very comfortable. I feel alignment-wise, it's also good. It's got a good weight to it with all the weights. What is kind of interesting, this is the only putter they offer with the weights on top and bottom. So we'll see how that plays out through the stroke, how it affects sound and feel. So we're going to go ahead and roll a few putts with it. So pretty solid. Definitely a smooth roll. I think the obviously with the material being a lot more compact, it does have a firmer feel, firmer sound. So we're going to hit another one here. Oh, that one was money. That was so smooth. So I think this one I am going to be a little critical on. The weight's on top here. I could see on a shiny, you can see there's a lot of shine to this one. So on a bright sunny day, I could see that being an issue. I wish they would have made the weights the same finish as the putter, kind of dulled out, that kind of satin dull finish. That way it wouldn't reflect. Other than that, zero complaints. So that's just something cosmetic. Heck, you could probably even get it painted. But I think this one's going to be a home run. I think what's nice with the Link, it's going to expose a lot of people to the L.A.B brand that was either nervous, on the fence, teeter-tottering because of the shape of the oversized putter. I think we're going to see a lot of conversion with this putter. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop back in the studio, do a little wrap up, give some final thoughts, and so we're going to head in there now. So after hitting putts with all of them, I've just got to say these things are so cool. I've said that from day one since they've been in the shop, and honestly, the reason we brought them in is we just saw the amount of success players have, had since switching. Again, they're not being compensated. They're doing, switching a Scotty Cameron or a TaylorMade or a Mizuno putter out of their bag to put these in with no money obligations. And guess what's happening? They're winning or they're improving. My personal favorite is the regular Mez. I just think it's cool. I'm going to call it the Batman putter.
What's the difference between you and me?
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
It's very stable. It has a really good acoustic sound to it. So if I were to game one of these, which could happen in the future, it would definitely be the Mez for me. I think that's what's so unique with them is for the first time since they've kind of started as a company, they truly have a head shape for every player. So if you have any questions about L.A.B golf or want to get fit, just let us know. You can DM us here on YouTube. You can shoot us a email over, shoot us a message on Instagram. We can actually do virtual fittings with these putters, so you don't have to come in to actually be fit for it. We can do that online. So if you have any questions or would like to get fit, let us know, and look forward to the next video. Thanks.